I hope you're having a great day. I'm having a good day. I'm feeling happy, positive. I am doing a self-care day that I'm apparently sharing with you because today's my birthday. It's my birthday. I'm turning 22. That's that. So today I'm going to do a novella reading vlog. So I don't know which books I'm going to be reading. I don't know for how many days. All I know is that I'm starting with this book right here. This is The Last Children of Tokyo by Yoko Tawada. I got the impression this is a cli-fi, but I'm actually not sure. I just picked this up at random, and I believe it's a Japanese translated fiction. I have some other stuff that I want to read. Convenience Store Woman, which is also pretty short. Literally, I'm just gonna read whatever the fuck I want today because today is my day. Let's read. So it's 2 days later, and I had a friend emergency yesterday to help my friend with something that was like a last minute thing, so I didn't have much time to read or vlog, but I did start reading Remote Control yesterday. I'm buddy reading it with Iris from Iris Messenger, and today's the second day. I'm like halfway through pretty much, and I think I'm gonna finish it tomorrow. And I did want to finish, what's the other one? The Last Children of Tokyo today, but we'll see. I'm super hungry now, so I'm gonna make some food. So basically Remote Control is about this girl called, I already forgot, man. Sankofa. It's about this girl called Sankofa who has the power to kill people, and that's where we start in the first chapter. And then we go back in time about to when she's like 6 years old or something, and we discover how she gained the power of being able to kill people. And it all started with this meteor shower where a green stone fell down. She bonded with the stone. Something happened that made her gain like these powers. And things happen from there, and then you kind of get the backstory, and it's very unpredictable. Like, you don't know where it's going at all. The writing style is super easy and engaging, and I really like Sankofa as a character. Like, I like how she talks to inanimate objects in the way that, like, with other living things, like as if they're people, and I just love that element of it. I really like Sankofa as a character, but I have no idea where the story is going, so I'm excited to see. It's like a little novella, and why it's also part of this vlog. So hopefully I'll be able to finish the Tokyo book today, but it's very much slow. Like, imagine if Becky Chambers was Japanese and the book was translated, and instead of writing a sci-fi, she wrote like a post-apocalyptic book. So it's sort of like a piece of life story, but it's like very dark too, because you're pretty much following the disasters of after climate change has irreversibly changed the planet, and humans are so malnutritious that these are supposed to be like the last children that live their life. So it's very interesting, but it's also very just like about this grandpa who talks about the relationship he has with his grandson, and like he goes to school and like he makes him an orange, and it's like very calm, but in the backdrop it's like about a really serious issue. But I'm liking it so far. It's just a bit slow and it doesn't really have any plot, and the book cover is so slippery. It keeps like slipping through my dry fingers. But your pal's gonna have to eat now, so let's do that. Okay, so to be honest, I've just read like 15 pages or something in this, and I'm supposed to finish this today, or I guess I'm more like when I reach page 100, so it's easy to finish it tomorrow. But honestly, I don't really feel like reading, and I just like get a bit anxious when I read because I feel like it's not going fast enough. And I think this sometimes happens to me. Like, it's the 20th of January and I read 20 books so far, and obviously that's including comics, but I think sometimes I get in this mood where I just like I read and read and read, and it's almost like an addiction to consume content so quickly that nothing is fast enough. Like, nothing is enough no matter how fast I consume the content. But this is like sort of what progresses me to go into like a reading slump, for example, because it's sort of what happened during the summer. That it's not that I'm not enjoying what I'm reading, but it's almost like an overload of not being able to consume content, but at the same time like it is enough, and knowing when like you have to stop and take a break. And it's really hard for me to feel when that happens, or like, am I just not reading the right book, or do I need a break, or am I pushing myself too far, or is it something within me that is not being satisfied and I'm trying to fill that hole with books? Probably the last one. It's sort of like, you know how like people buy stuff and you can never buy like enough stuff to satisfy yourself. It's because your happiness doesn't come from the stuff, but you just keep buying more. And I think maybe that's like these emotions have kind of progressed into my book buying as well, because I've bought like an extreme amount of books in January, and I don't need it. Like, why don't I just read backlists of books? I have books, I should read those. But it's just like, but at the same time, I think it's gonna stress me out not to read. So like, I don't know what to do with all these emotions I'm having right now. And I am really enjoying this. I'm enjoying the conversations they're having. They're having a lot of conversations about climate change and how the world got here, and how they use like solar energy, the way they use local produce, but also how they've shut off like their communication with the rest of the world, and it's pretty much like every country for themselves. So it's really interesting, but it doesn't have any plot, and maybe it's just that it doesn't have any plot, that I need something that's a bit more fast-paced right now, but I also don't want to feed into those emotions of like needing to like consume fast, you know? Like, maybe it's good that I just stick with this, that I read this, take my time, so that I don't go back into the same reading slump loop, because that would suck ass, man. Maybe I just feel anxious. Maybe I just need to be loved. Maybe I just need to find that love for myself. It's past midnight. I've been reading for half an hour, and I've gotten like 66% through remote control, and about a bit more than halfway through this. So yeah, today I was just feeling very anxious, and like, you know when you feel like you're this weird mix of like anxious and a bit numb at the same time, and it feels like you can't focus, but you're also like very impatient, but you still have like ambitions and plans. It's just like uncomfortable feeling. So that was today. I think I need to get out of the house and maybe like do some stuff and switch up my environment and all that tomorrow. So we'll talk more then. Today was not a good day. Tomorrow will be better. So my apartment's a mess right now, but I've done some redecorating. So I've moved this chair over there, and my shame chair is now here. And then I have like this thing for the bunnies, so when the other two are neuter, they're gonna be on this side. Yeah, it's a bit messy, but that's what I've been doing today. I also bought some more plants. Let's continue with remote control and The Last Children of Tokyo. So I just wanted to show you some passages from the book, and I think this is so fun. It just struck me that our main character, what was his name? Yoshiro, is over 100 years in this one, and it's like the last generation to really have experienced the earth before the climate catastrophe. And it sort of hit me that like this book is almost written from like, if my generation or I 100 years from now, whatever, you know what I mean? Like Yoshiro is like my generation almost, if you think about it. And that just hit me as so weird that, wow, like it's almost like like in this world, it's past the point where society reached sort of this peak of technology, and then but then the climate crisis got so bad that humanity sort of came to a halt, and it's written in such a peaceful way, and it's almost funny at parts. So I just want to show you some passages that I really like. So this is a bizarre one. No breast milk was guaranteed to be safe, one of the nurses explained. Breast milk contained, along with its life-giving nutrients, a high concentration of poison. On the next page it says, no, but there's bat milk in it, says one of the nurses, and it's like, it's so funny to me thinking of that now, now that we know also like bats have so much disease in them. This one's on electricity that I just think is too real, to be honest. Electrical appliances had met with disapproval ever since electric current was discovered to cause nervous disorders, numbness in the extremities, and insomnia, a condition generally known as buzz syndrome. This here is just a line I liked. Yoshida sometimes wished that instead of his grandson, Tomo were a character in one of his novels. Oh my god. Let me tell you about remote control. The remote control was so good. It was so good. And I didn't feel that way like all throughout it. I really enjoyed the whole thing. It's really fast paced. You don't really know where it's going. I feel like she has some sort of a mission, but then halfway through the book, she basically abandons that. And the whole book is just sort of like, where is it going now? But then the ending was so good, and I love the ending. And I got like teary eyed, and you know that thing where you're like about to cry and the top of your gums kind of like ache a bit, but I didn't quite like cry, but it was emotional. I loved it, and just like Sankofa as a character is just amazing. She struggles through like so many hardships, and literally every person she's loved and cared about dies, and still she finds like so much compassion and love and care within her to care about other people who hate her. And she just faces like literally everyone like hates her pretty much, and still like she has so much love to give, and it's just like her as a character. Oh my god, wow, incredible. I loved her so much, and I just loved reading about her perspective, and she's just like this 12-year-old that, oh my god, loved her. I gave the book 5 stars. I absolutely adored it. Definitely want to read the author's other book, Nadi's other book, the Benti, and I don't know if I'm gonna read Akata Witch, but we'll see. Just loved it. Wow. I'm also gonna finish The Last Children of Tokyo tonight. I think I have 50 pages left. I just finished The Last Children of Tokyo, and like, what? So this book, short wrap up, it doesn't have any chapters, so it just like it goes on and on and on, and really doesn't have any plot. Like, it really doesn't have any plot. And the little flap on the inside that tells you what the book is about basically spoils the last 10 pages of this book, which was just super unnecessary. So really do not read the synopsis of this book. Don't do it. Other than that, at the end it sort of starts to switch between many different perspectives, and we get Mumei's perspective, the little boy, and then at the end it becomes super surreal. I wasn't expecting that at all. I mean, there's some things I really liked about this book, like some concepts and quotes, and even sort of like the story was really calming, but oh my god, was it depressing. Like, really dark hole depressing. So yeah, that was an experience. But I don't know, I still really liked it. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It was a special experience, and I'm glad I read it. It was a interesting time. I'm just gonna go through all the quotes I highlighted and annotated and put small flaps on it so I can find them. And then I'm gonna sleep. Yes, I'm tired. It's like 10 o'clock. I'm so tired. This is like sunny outside, but I'm gonna lie in bed and I'm gonna listen to Books Unbound.
We're here today on a rainy day. I say that, but I realized it might not be rainy where you are.
Nope.
It's definitely...
Hello. So this is unrelated to the vlog. I never know how much to balance of like my personal life and like the reading part of it. But I'm listening to Life is a Unicorn by Amro Al-Kadi, and I'm really liking it so far. It's really like very explicit in just like everything they talk about, and I'm loving it, but it's also a lot to take in, especially because I've been listening so intensely to it, and I've been cleaning like the apartment, so everything is so clean now, which is super nice. I asked Instagram, I posted this on my Instagram asking what book I should read next, because I can literally not decide what book. People always want to see you read the most popular books. Like, why don't they want to see reviews of books they never heard of? That always puzzles me. Like, why pick the book that you've already read rather than like learn about a new book? But people are just like that. Maybe I'm like that. I'll check in with you guys later. And to the surprise of no one, this one I think got the most vote, but only by one over this one. But I mean, I'm gonna read them all in like the next couple of days, so it's not a big deal. But we'll start with Convenience Store Woman today, and it's 4 o'clock already, so hopefully I'll finish it. But if not, you know, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. So I'm like about halfway through Convenience Store Woman. Not sure if I'm enjoying it so far because it's kind of slow, there's no plot, it's sort of boring, and the themes are quite similar to the ones in Earthlings, though it's a completely different plot and storyline. I find the other one much better so far because I do like the sort of magical realism weirdness of that one, and this one's just more simple, but it definitely has the same conversation. So I find it just so frustrating, this idea that people feel bad for people who were garbage men or grocery store women, convenience store women, and like these people who have probably the most necessary jobs in society, people who can't function without the bus drivers, and we just assume that they're like settling, that they have to take this job, that they're unhappy because they have this job. But it's like, actually, why don't we like admire them as much as we admire any other job that's taken? Because they're necessary and they're needed, and it doesn't mean that they're unhappy just because they take a job like that. It doesn't mean that they're poor just because they take a job like that, or like they're stuck in a situation. And it's just like the conversations in here are completely valid, but they're just frustrating me because like there's this idea that like after a certain point when we worked in a job, like we need to want to change job, we want to become in a higher and higher status at our job, we want to get better, we want to earn more money, and it's almost like we should almost feel bad for people who are never happy with what they have rather than bad with people who are happy for less, you know? And I feel like we need to create a new culture with like admiring those people who are happy with what they have, because there's a lot of people who wouldn't be able to work in a convenience store for 8 years, you know? I am one of those. I would never be able to do that, and I really am grateful and admire people like Furukuda who can do stuff like that. So I don't know, it's just really frustrating. It's a good conversation, but I'm just getting really like agitated by it, and I really hope the end has some like redeeming qualities. Oh my god, someone neatly pooped on my book. What? The audacity's unbelievable. So the package seems to be from my mother. I don't know, it might be like a belated birthday present. I told her not to get me anything, but maybe we talked about it, but maybe not. I don't know. Okay, it's wrapped. Aww. Wilma, that's me. Oh my god, that's so cute. It's with a hamster on it. Oh, my mom wrote like a whole letter. I'll read that later. Or maybe I should read it now. God, I feel like I should read this for you guys, but also it's personal, but like it's so... Okay, I'll translate it because it's not so deep. It's just really beautiful. I'm so grateful and happy that you exist in my life. You give so generously from yourself with all your creativity, your insights, ideas, and everything you're burning for. You teach me something new every day. Thank you. And we have so much fun together. I really look forward to seeing you in real life soon again. Mother. Ooh, Ella found the package. I love this wrapper. This will be trash for me this year. It's this little heart where it says loved in Swedish. And then here, oh, I think I requested this. What is it? Oh yes, I did. Okay, so you know I'm doing like the zero waste thing. So my mom, she's a hoarder and she has so much stuff that she's now trying to get rid of. And she has these like tiny napkins with a ladybug on in the corners, and they're just like tissues that you can use instead. And I'm so happy I have them. That's so lovely. I still haven't like used all my tissues, but this will be great when my tissues run out. We're going old school with like pocket handkerchiefs and stuff. That's it. Let's continue reading. Thanks, Mom. So it's soon 1 o'clock again. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but I finished Convenience Store Woman. Thoughts. I felt like, for me, the enjoyment is sort of like a 2-star. I feel like I didn't get so much out of this. Also because people keep saying that it's like the same conversations that happen in Earthlings, and I agree. And it never went deeper. Like, I love the discussions and themes that were had. I just really wish it would have gone deeper into those themes and really digged into the capitalist ideals and what it does to us. And, like, our main character, she exhibits traits, like autistic and arrow ace traits. And I don't know, I don't think she has, like, she defies herself that way. But she's definitely on the spectrum of both of those, and we can have a bigger discussion about how we see people who are diagnosed with those things and what that does to us as a society, and how we only see people as useful and stuff. And it does sort of touch on that, but not in the way that I wanted it to. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really like it all that much. And it doesn't have any plot at all, pretty much, in my opinion. And I just really despised a sidekick male character in this. Like, he was just so disgusting, and I really despised him, and I just didn't enjoy reading him in the story. And just like, I don't know, the ending was good, but like, I don't know if I liked it. I'll read another book tomorrow. Maybe I like it more. I need to sleep. Hello everyone! It's a new, amazing, brilliant day. It's Saturday today, and I'm late, or you already know about this, but me, Sage, and Sim, we're starting a climate... Actually, Sim was the one who reached out to everyone, but we're starting a climate fiction book club. I'm so excited. I'm just so thrilled about it. But they've already posted their announcement video, so I'm late on that. And this morning I watched the next special episode of Euphoria, the one with Jules, and it was so good. I cried so much. I cried and had some porridge, and I was crying, and yeah. It was an emotional time, a beautiful time. It's just like, if Euphoria doesn't end up to be like the greatest love story of all time, I do not know what to do with myself. It's like when you know like two people are sort of better off without each other, because like they both feed into each other's like weak spots, and they both need to like figure themselves out, but at the same time, like, I just want them to be together. I'm gonna do my makeup because I was looking at my own makeup videos yesterday. Yes, I get inspired by myself. You should also get inspired by yourself. I don't understand YouTubers who can say like, oh, I don't like looking at my face. I love looking at my face. I love editing my videos and just staring at all this beauty all the time. Okay, stop. Jokes aside, I'm gonna do my makeup today too, because I feel like it. I got inspired by myself. That's the story. So I just finished like filming my announcement video, and although this makeup is really cool and I love it, it makes me look really angry. And I'm sad people are gonna join the book club because of my angry makeup. But yeah, you know, like, I really didn't feel like filming today. Like, I wasn't feeling the makeup. I redid it twice. You know those days, like, today I just had to film and like get this out, but I didn't feel like it. I need to change their toilet. I need to change the rabbit toilets. So much work. Bunnies are so much work. And then we're gonna get to reading. Ooh. Highly recommend checking out Sunny's latest video about 50 plus queer books centered BIPOC authors. And it's so long, but I love every second of it. Thank you, Sunny. So I'm waiting for my eggs to boil, because I'm hungry. I haven't done the dishes. I don't have any food at home. So I'm just gonna boil some eggs, cut up some tomatoes, mix it with soy. That's it. I'm just like so angry and disappointed and out of myself, where like the mistake I made in my announcement video for the climate change, and I'm just like, ugh, like exhausted with being me, and I just want to lie on the floor and cry for a bit, and I haven't read anything today, and I just want to like disappear for a second. But life is like, no, you got responsibilities, bitch. Uncomfortable feelings are good. They're good feelings. It's good. So what happened was, I don't know. I'm just having one of those days where the way that the world perceives me just really get me down. Like, I don't want to sit here and mope about, you know, like, people not accepting my gender identity and stuff. Because the thing is, like, people do, but I was kind of like on Facebook, and my mom uploaded, like, reposted a picture that she posted a year ago when we went to DragCon, and literally every single comment from my mom's friends, like, misgendered me, and it's like I had to tell my mom, like, hey, like, maybe you can, you know, take action about this and, like, correct them. And I don't know, I think it was just like the wrong time at the wrong moment, and just like some days, like literally just one person misgendering me, and like it's just like sometimes it really gets me down. Sometimes when it gets me down, I even have friends tell me like, but you know, like, you understand that it's hard for people, blah 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 blah. And the thing is, like, I understand, but like how do I say it, like, I have so much understanding. I just don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear your complaints. I don't want to hear. I just want you to learn to do the right thing. And like, I misgender people sometimes, but I just don't make it a big deal when I do. And like, when my friends misgender me, they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Blah blah. And it just makes me feel like. Not only that, but the whole situation. Like, we had this dinner party where we sat down and literally, like, they were like, yeah, but it's, you know, it's just so difficult to relearn habits, and like all of these things just started flooding in like at the same time. And then I went to like a live stream that Aluk was having, and they basically talked about how other people make it seem like you're an inconvenience to them, and it was just like, it just hit really true to home. And so from that moment on, I've been crying all day. And it just really got to me. Like, some days being misgendered doesn't bother me at all, but like days like today, I just couldn't take it. And literally just these people that I don't care about like my mom's friends, like, broke me down, and I couldn't do it. So I haven't read anything today. I participated in the live stream for We've Always Been Here. I read it for the Rainbow Reads book club, and I enjoyed the live stream. I enjoyed the discussion and revisiting some of the things in the book. But yeah, I haven't read anything today. Like, I haven't been capable of it. I've just been consuming like meaningless booktube drama content, like literally like that, very much that type of day. And it's also been kind of nice to take a break. But I thought I'd still like include this day in the vlog just to show that like I have bad days all the time, and not just the bad days where like I decide to read comic books all day, like bad days where I cry and I don't read, and it's just like bad. It's just bad. I think what the problem is like, people always tell you that like if you don't like the way you're being treated, then it's like you have to find a way to deal with that, and it's like your problem, instead of addressing like that society has a problem with it. And I'm just really tired, really tired of that behavior. And yeah, Alok came to the rescue. And I really need to read their book soon, because I do have Beyond the Gender Binary at home. So, but I just feel like really heavy, and it's all just like weighing down on me. I want to make a whole video about like how difficult it's been for me emotionally to like come out, because the internet is so inviting, and the internet is so lovely, and like when I say I want different pronouns, I'm like, and I'm not a girl, like pretty much everyone in this like beautiful LGBTQ plus community are so lovely, and they just like catch on so quickly. They're like, okay, that's fine, of course, like, some like welcome. But then you come into like the real life, and it's just like not like that. Like, why can't all of life just be like a beautiful LGBTQ plus community. Okay, it's like difficult to exist in this beautiful form online, and then you come back in your life and it's just not there, and you know, like, you haven't found the people that, like, I love my friends, but they're just not my tribe. I don't have a lot of queer friends, and it's difficult. And that's why, like, for me, COVID has been really, really helpful for my life, because like during this whole thing, I didn't need to go to school, I didn't need to be with people in my real life, like I could just stay at home, which has been like super, super helpful for me, and it's made it so much easier to come out, and it's like, I feel like so much more accepted, because my real life, like, it's so much harder than like what's happening online. My eyes are just like really sore, also because I washed my makeup off so many times. Oh, and I also got myself down because I made that mistake in the video I was making, that I accidentally cultural appropriated Asian clothing and makeup, and I didn't even do it on purpose, but it struck me how, like, you know, how other people can misgender me, and sometimes it really hurts me. Like, someone can go in and watch that, and then that could be a trigger for someone else, you know, even though I like corrected my mistake and I wanted to talk about my mistake. I just feel like I could be the cause for, my ear is really itchy. I could be the cause for what I'm feeling today, all in the same day. So it just all happened like all at once, and it was a lot. And honestly, I just want this day to be over. I just want it to be over. I want to start fresh tomorrow with a better mindset. I'm gonna go to bed. Like, I'm just gonna watch Kipo. Kipo, I love you. I'm watching Kipo right now, so I'm gonna watch Kipo, brush my teeth. Then I'm going to read Card Wars, this Adventure Time comic, before I go to bed. Okay, I'm back. Because I think I pinpointed why I get so upset about this stuff. It's like, I am being, like, accepted in my life, which I know it's like a lot of queer people can't even say that, but I'm not being celebrated for my queerness. And, like, that distinction is just really hard when I'm, like, already coming to terms with it. Like, I just want to be celebrated for the queer parts of me. Like, I don't just want to be accepted, you know? Because it's just, like, the accepting that makes it feel like it's an inconvenience, but they're accepting it, you know? But I just want to be celebrated, you know? Whew. It here's the waterworks. I'm eating the same scent thing I was doing yesterday for dinner and watching Kipo, and this is a mess. So I had like the worst nightmare this morning, and I'm just like feeling a lot of anger and not better at all today, because I woke up to like my rabbits being with the other rabbits, and they can't do that, like they broke through. It was just a mess. And then I went back to bed, and I was just gonna take a nap and like recharge my energy, because I was already feeling angry, and I'm like, I don't want to start the day like this. Little did I know I was gonna sleep like 3 more hours, wake up super tired late in the day, and have had 3 nightmares during all that time. So first I dreamt, you know how dreams can be, it's like consecutively they make sense in your head but they don't really make sense. So first I dreamt that I was like in the mountains, and it started raining cold because like the CO2 concentration in the air had become so thick that it was raining coal. And I'm just like, oh my god, you know it's bad when you're having dreams about like climate change or nightmares about climate change. Oh my god. And then I went to some like dance class, and I like couldn't learn any of the steps even though they were all super easy. We had to like perform this super easy thing, but I still hadn't learned it on the stage, and to get to the stage we had to take this like tram. And I had 2 bags with me, one that I needed to like babysit my brother, which was like my backpack and everything, and the other one was like the bag with like the costume for the dance show. And every time I stepped off the tram, which was like multiple times, I don't know why, I forgot the important thing, which was my backpack, but I remembered the non-important thing, which was the dance clothes. And I don't know if like that's like a metaphor for something, like not knowing what's important or forgetting what's important. I don't know, like, charm. And then on top of that, the lady on the tram kept like touching my face, and I'm like, hey, we live during corona times, like stop fucking touching my face, like you're being extremely like disrespectful. Not only because like why would you touch someone like a stranger's face anyways, even if it's not COVID time. Now I'm trying to like recharge my energy, restart the day. Coffee number 2. So this is essentially the last day of the vlog, and I was really debating going back and forth which book I was gonna read. So I have oh my god, why is it so hard to say? And I decided to go with this one, because now I have 3 pink covers that match. So I'm gonna read and finish this today, hopefully. I'm really excited to start with it. Ah. Hey, cutie. I love you.
Real rhyme or reason.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
Her.
I'm watching a live stream with Seiji and doing some rabbit bonding. And I just got sprayed with pee in the face. That was a fun time. Had to actually change my pajamas for once. It's 176 pages, and I've read about 107, so I have like 70 pages left, but so far it's like such an interesting book, and I didn't know anything about it before this, so I don't know if you already know, but Jane Rawson is the author of the book From the Wreck, which was a book I picked up because of the cover, and not many people had read it, but it is so good. It was it was my second favorite book of 2019. And it is so good. I want to reread it soon. I absolutely love it. But she's only written 3 other books, I believe, and this is like one of them. And the third one I cannot get my hands on for whatever reason. I can probably read it as an ebook, actually. But anyways, this, if I'm going to talk about this, I want to put that on the camera. I feel like it's so dirty. It's just paper for the bunnies to like play with or whatever. So this book, you follow 4 different people. One of them is this woman who's having an affair with a famous pop star, and the pop star hasn't like disclosed that she's like gay, so it's kind of in a secret relationship, and in the beginning of the book this one breaks off, and that's Amy you're following. Then you're also following Derek, who is in some sort of traffic crash, and he saves this other girl, and they're the only survivors. Then you follow the other girl, Benjamin, the girl who was saved, and she loses an arm. Those 3 perspectives mostly take place in the year 2000. Then you have in 2022, you follow a perspective of a guy named Paul. Paul wakes up dead. Like, he's not a ghost, he's not a zombie, he simply is like erased all records. Like, he doesn't own his apartment, he doesn't own any bank accounts, like there's no registry of his existence whatsoever. So it's just like his perspective it starts with, and the first line in the book is, not knowing I was dead, I went about my business that day like I did on every other day. So that's a great first sentence, and it definitely makes you want to read the book. So you follow all these 4 perspectives, and they're all connected, they all intertwine with each other, and they're all involved with each other's lives. So about 70 pages through, you have a very clear understanding about how they all connect, and one of them seems kind of like speculative so far in like as to how they connect, but like the concept is just really amazing, and it doesn't really have all that much plot, like you're just seeing it sort of play out. But I'm just interested like why doesn't Paul exist, you know? And obviously I think it's gonna have something to do with his other 3 people who you see like 22 years before for his timeline. I'm really excited to see what happens. I really want to finish this tonight. It's quite an easy read, and even though it doesn't have a lot of plot, like I find it very addicting. And it was kind of like that with Jane Rawson's other book, where there is a plot, but it's not apparent until the end, and you're just sort of like sticking around. You're just sort of like sticking around to see how it goes. So excited about this. I just, you know, like when you find one book by an author you love, and I often do this where I'm hesitant to read their other books just because I don't know if they're gonna be good, and you don't want to like destroy this experience of his own author you had. But if like Jane Rawson I end up loving all her books, like she's a new favorite author, but obviously I can't say that because this is only my 2nd book reading for her, but I just want to love all her books. I can rave about them. And something exciting, I've been thinking about like if I read more unknown authors and I love more unknown authors, I would love to do like author interviews and stuff and that kind of thing. So yes, let's finish this book. I feel like Leela always looks so royal for underneath, like with her mane and everything. Oh, look at that mouth. Okay, oh my god. Let's talk about this book. Formaldehyde. Is that how you say it? Oh my god. And I didn't even notice it first, but in the jar there's a hand here. I don't know if you can see it. I didn't notice that, but it's like super relevant to the plot later. Oh my god. Like, what the hell? Oh my god, this is so good. This is so good. I think there's like 100 people who's read it on Goodreads, and that makes me upset because Jane Austen is like such an underhyped author. Like, at least the ones I read, they're so good. They're so inventive. This one, it has like, there is one like queer relationship, but generally like the book is just queer. You know those books that don't like outright state that they're queer, but you just read them and you're like, yes, this book is very queer. Oh, like it's just written so good, and I love the ending. Oh my god. And all these threads and all these people, it tied up in like such a nice way. There was this part in the towards the end where I think like our main character Paul didn't really understand what was going on, and it took him like a minute too long to get it, and because like the reader kind of knows more than him, so like that was the only part where I was like, okay, like get it on with it. But generally like this book was just so interesting. I could not stop reading it. I was supposed to save 20 pages before I went to bed, but like I could not put it down. Okay, the only con, maybe is that a con? I don't know. I think there's certain parts like the fact that Paul was actually like dead and some other stuff were put out to be like magical realism, but there are no magic elements at all. Okay, maybe one. There's so many parts where I really want to talk about what happened. I really want to spoil this book like so bad. I need to like gush about it, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna spoil the joy for anyone who wants to read this book. But if you want to pick it up, it's super short. It's such a page turner. Like, you're gonna fly through this. I absolutely loved it. I adored it. I highly recommend it. And I'm so glad I read this today because like at the start of the day it didn't go so well, but like this definitely brought my mood up. And like, what the fuck? Okay, so in the book it says, the most original novel I've read for some time. And I completely agree. Like, I have never read anything like this whatsoever, not even close. And I can see how there's other books like this that exist out there. Like, it almost has a bit of a Murakami vibe. Like, a little bit, but the authors are Australian, so definitely, it's like definitely different. So, but there's something about it that's just like, oh, that really resonates with me, and I get really excited about books like this, and I want to read more books like this, and I just loved it a lot. I loved it a lot. I loved it. It's so good. I'm gonna spoil one part, so if you're like very no spoilers at all and this already sounds interesting to you, just skip this part. But if you don't think you're gonna like read it, it's not really a spoiler because I don't think you remember it, and it's not really a big deal, but Paul doesn't know who his parents are, and there's this part where he finds out that his dad is not his real dad, and then he says like, "Dad, if that's in fact your real name." And like, I know this joke has been used so many times, but like it gets me every single time. So he's like confronts his dad, and he's like, "You're telling me you're not my real dad? Like, why haven't you told me this before?" And then his dad says, "Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't have this talk earlier. It's just, well, I figured you would have worked it out yourself. What with me being black and all." And it's like, that's not information that's like disclosed earlier in the book, and it just like pops up, and it's so funny. And like, reading this book, I think Paul comes off like he's like 30 years old, but he's 22, which is my age, which like kind of shifts my perspective on the book. But yeah. Oh, but it's weird also, like, I'm born 99, I'm 22, but this book, when he's born, is 2000, and next year he turns 22, so like this book is technically the same timeline as everyone who's 1 year younger than me, if you know what I mean. But I read it now exactly, so now I'm the same age as Paul. But okay, this is all too much information. I'm just really excited about this book. I really loved it. I really loved it. I'm so happy I loved it. And I can't wait to pick up her last book, The Wrong Turn at the Office of Unmade Things. Something like that. I ordered it way back in the beginning of Corona, but because of the restrictions, they weren't able to ship it from Australia. And now I'm just thinking I'm just gonna read it for an ebook, and I can get a copy later because I just love it. Oh, I'm so excited. Ah! Ah! Hey baby. You're so cute. You guys are just adorable, aren't you? So I just wanted to do a quick little wrap up before I say goodbye for this vlog. So during there was like a weekly novella reading vlog, I thought I was gonna have time to read loads, but I got to read 3 and they all have matching covers, which was amazing. Okay, so editing Wilma here, I completely forgot about remote control when I was doing like the wrap up. And also this hardcover edition that I got, like it has a shimmery cover and like the text has this like foil around it, but it just hit me like on the bottom there's a blurb by Veronica Roth, and it's just like, out of all the authors you want to blurb this book, you're gonna choose an author that has been accused of like having a racist book as a blurb on a book by a black author. Like, I don't know, I just find like out of all the people who could have blurbed this, like, why her? And also on the back there's Ursula K. Le Guin and Neil Gaiman, which is also like white authors, and I'm like, I'm happy that this book is getting more attention by famous authors, but like, couldn't there at least have been like one black author that like read this, that like, I don't know, it's just like, it bothers me. I don't know if it bothers anyone else. Let me know if it bothers you, or if you just, I mean, I'm obviously happy for this author, but still, why Roth? Okay. Anyways, am I gonna do a little wrap of this? I mean, I think you've heard my thoughts on it. This was amazing. I loved it. I'm definitely gonna read more about this author. It's such a easy read, sci-fi, but reflective, and it is like more of the type of stuff I want to read. Not so advanced, quick to get through, but still gives me a lot in a very short time. So highly recommend this. Also, if you're new to sci-fi, this is super, super great. And I think it's my first introduction to African futurism, so I'll definitely check out more of that as well. Loved it! I'm so excited to have a copy! Wow, I ended up having a great experience, I think, with all of these. They're all great in their own way. But I gave this one 4 stars. I gave this one on Goodreads 2 stars, I think. Is it possible? And then that's why I think the Storygraph is more accurate, or 3 stars, because I gave it 2.75 stars or something. I'm glad I read it, but it doesn't like contribute to a whole lot in my life. Charm is being really moody. Hey buddy, need cuddles? Do you want to say hey to the camera? Hi! Hi, buddy. He's the only bunny I can actually pick up. The other ones do not like to get picked up. But he's okay with it. Right, buddy? Yeah, like, these two are sort of, like, sad and depressing. And I don't know if I like how much my reading contributes to my mood. But yeah, I was feeling very happy on the first day of the week because of my birthday. And then the week sort of, like, escalated. And then I ended up not feeling so happy. And then this book happened today and it brought my mood up. So I gave this 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. Highly recommend it. So yeah. This was a great reading experience. I love reading books that are like less known, like these two are not so famous, and I would like to maybe read more books that aren't so famous, because sometimes like the popularity of the book has nothing to do with how good a book is, because it all has to do with marketing and how much budget it has and all of these things too. Of course, an unknown book can become popular too if it's good, but there's a lot of unpopular books that are really good, you know? And I recommend both of these. Just know that this one is really sad. This one was funny, weird, lovely, page-turning, exciting, well-written. It's extremely well-written. So I highly recommend these two, and this was an experience. Enjoyed it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you want this to become like a thing that I do more novella reading vlogs, because I have a really good time with it, but maybe you guys like don't really care if it's novellas or normal books or whatever. Yeah, I really love doing reading vlogs. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know some great, weird novellas or unknown authors down below that you would like to give a shout out to and you wish more people would read their stuff. I wish you all an amazing, amazing day full of pinkness. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!